Ready whenever you are.
Yeah, okay. Please call the meeting to order, the Sacramento City Council. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Kaplan?
Here.
Councilmember Dickinson?
Here.
Vice Mayor Talamontes?
Here.
Councilmember Pluckybaum? Absent. Councilmember Maple?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Guerra? Member Jennings?
Here.
Councilmember Vang?
Here.
Mayor McCarty?
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. Councilmember Maple, please lead us in the pledge and land acknowledgement.
Certainly. Please rise if you are able for the opening acknowledgments in honor of Sacramento's indigenous people and tribal lands. To the original people of this land, the Nisenan people, the Southern Maidu, Valley and Plains Miwok, Patwin Wintun peoples, and the people of the Wilton Rancheria, Sacramento's only federally recognized tribe. May we acknowledge and honor the Native people who came before us and still walk beside us today on this ancestral lands by choosing to gather today in the active practice of acknowledgement and appreciation for Sacramento's indigenous people's history, contributions, and lives. Remain standing, salute, and pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is there a closed session report?
No, nothing.
Next, we have the consent calendar. We have 17 items on the consent calendar, and I have one speaker for item number 11. Do public speakers first?
Yes. Public speakers first, please.
Lambert?
Came to speak on number 11. Wait a minute. Number 11, it talks about suspension of competitive bidding. In the past, they used to use the practice called bid peddling and bid rigging. That's what this is. This is a very slippery slope. You've been doing that for a while. And when you are a business owner, you want to be able to bid on it, whatever it is. You know, and I'll give you an example of why. Now, can we use this today, the overhead? Because last night I was at Measure U Commission and they were using it. So this is going to become a freedom of speech violation of the First Amendment, because there's no excuse to not let us show what we're going to show. So since I can't show it to you, then I have the right to show it to the public. This is the Sacramento Bee, and it talks about an example of why you shouldn't have competitive bidding. A guy at Cap Radio, he was able to get contracts for his family without competitive bidding, and I'm glad they caught him, because it's a whole web of people that are connected to it. Shout out to the Sacramento Bee. That's what happens when you don't have competitive bidding. It can get in the hands of the wrong person, and they can give the contracts to family and friends. This is just an example. I own a cheesecake business. You have to bid on different contracts, and we never know who was the one that selected it. We found out right here that he had relatives that helped him get the contract. He wasn't qualified. That's a terrible thing to do, is no competitive bidding. My question is, who awards the contract from the staff?
Thank you for your comment. I have no more public speakers.
Okay, thank you. Council members? Councilmember Dickinson.
Thanks, Mayor. I just wanted to make a quick comment about item 5, the Norwood Mobility Plan, that presumably we're going to adopt this afternoon. This is a completion of a lot of work. think I see Jennifer back there and the advanced transportation staff, who I know have been laboring on this for quite some time. But it's very both gratifying and exciting to see it get to us here to approve, because this is a corridor which is in as bad need as a number of our corridors are for being addressed, to slow traffic down, increase safety, increase pedestrian and bicycle access. So this is represents an important step, and Sharice, Jennifer, everybody who's worked on this, thanks for your work. Thanks to the community members for participating. And now the next step is implementation. Maybe it's a good location for a quick build project one of these days. So I'm very pleased to see this on the agenda this afternoon. Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Kaplan.
I want to make quick comments on item 5 and item 11. I don't know how, if you want me to just go ahead and we're going by a slightly different order.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to echo the comments made by Councilmember Dickinson. And then Ms. Donald Wyatt, if you want to come up just for a quick second, because Roger started a question but made it a statement, and I actually want to hear, because with this Norwood mobility plan, I love our plans, but as we've always discussed, it's dependent on funding. But in the meantime, are there parts of quick builds that we can do that can make this area safer and start preparing residents for the road diet and implementing the mobility plan?
Councilmember Kaplan, it's good to see you. With me is Sharice Padilla, who is the project manager for the Norwood Mobility Plan. Most likely, yes. And so, as you know, we're building our quick build team, and Megan Carter, who is the division manager for transportation, is leading that. We will certainly put that seed in her area of expertise so that she can look at whether or not there's something on Norwood that can be a quick build. It is a priority project in the Transportation Priorities Plan, and we will endeavor to move that project forward.
And thank you. I think that's a great, where you guys have come up with a great plan, but what's the next step and how do we work with different departments where this doesn't naturally overlap to see if we can make interim measures to make it safer. Also considering all the items we heard this morning of how do we increase walkability and make Sacramento safer. So thank you for that. I just really appreciate.
Thank you, Councilmember.
And then on item 11, I am really excited to see we are getting ready to, refresh, give Old Sacramento a little refresh. And Mr. City Attorney, just quick question, because somebody brought up, there are abilities when you suspend competitive bidding. Can you, like I saw, it said, while we might suspend the traditional competitive bidding, does going through the RFQ process still give us protections at the city? You're on. No, press it. Good. Nope, you're good.
Yes.
One more time. Nope, you're good. Stop. Okay, now.
Yes, the suspension for competitive bidding requires justification, which was provided in staff report. But we do have opportunities for protections when we do RFPs, yes.
Okay, and then I think it's like we in council might know it, and you as the attorney, I always think it's important to explain when the public where they may misunderstand, because we know how people have misused funds, but that there are still protections in place when we do something like this, so there isn't like that insider track of gift to somebody's company.
Yes, there's a number of conflicts of interest that we review, we consider right before awarding these contracts.
Thank you. I appreciate you answering a couple of my questions, and I'm just really excited to see the facelift for Old Sacramento.
Thank you, Mayor. I will be happy to move the consent calendar, but record my no vote for item 17. This is a consultant contract of $749,929 for the Measure L funds. And it is, per the charter of the language that was passed, we have to do some evaluations on the programs to see whether it had impacts in the 2 to 5 years. And I feel that these funds can better be used for an internal YPSI employee to do the evaluations throughout the year and to give this department more capacity when it comes to allocating these funds, using these funds, and providing on-site eyes like year-round. So I'm just going to be a record for no on this item.
Motion is second. All's in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any noes or abstentions? Noted on item number.
And I will join Talamontes on item number 17 as a no vote.
Okay, the consent calendar passes with 2 no votes for item number 17. Councilmember Talamontes and Councilmember Kaplan.
Yes. Okay, next item, please.
Moving on to item number 18 on the discussion calendar, the Sacramento Housing and Redevelopment Agency Annual Comprehensive Financial Report for the year ending December 31st, 2024, and single audit.
Good afternoon, Mayor, members of the council. My name is Kay Junta. I'm Assistant Director of Finance for Sacramento Housing and Redevelopment Agency. Today, our auditor, Mandy Merchant from Clifton Larson Allen, will be presenting on the 2024 audited financial statements and single audit.
Thank you, Kay. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, thank you. It's an honor to be here. It's my first time presenting in front of you all. So I'm going to get this started. So again, my name is Mandy Merchant. I'm a partner at Clifton Larson Allen. I have been working in the housing authority sector for my entire career of 25 years. So I work with housing authorities across the United States. So I'm glad to be here to help present the results of SHRA. So really quickly, the agenda for today is kind of to go over the audit scope and the process that we use as part of this audit. We're going to talk through the audit opinions and the communications that are required to governance. I'm going to go over some financial highlights for SHRA as a whole and then for the city programs. Talk about some significant audit changes and then the upcoming GASB pronouncements I'll kind of just touch on at a very high level. Okay, so first off, for our audit scope, the audit that we performed for 12/31/2024 included about 5 things I want to speak about. The first 3 are the audit opinions that we have issued. We issued a report on the organization's financial statements, which I like to say over the numbers. We then did a report over the internal controls, over financial reporting and compliance. So looking at the internal controls, make sure everything is functioning as expected at the agency. And then our last report is a report on controls over the compliance of the major programs. So that's looking at the single audit since the agency receives over $750,000. The last 2, we do a required governance that went to the SHRA board, and that just kind of summarizes the overall audit process, which I have a slide on here about that I'll go over with you all. And then we do a required submission to the Real Estate Assessment Center because they're under, the guidance of HUD and then the Federal Audit Clearinghouse. Okay. All right, so quickly on our audit process. Obviously, as auditors, we are not able to look at every single number. We do have a risk-based approach, and our risk-based approach is developed based on our industry experience with other housing authorities. And then what we do is kind of look at the internal controls of the agency. We look at how they're dispersing funds, how they're collecting money, how they're paying their people, ensuring that there's checks and balances in place. We also look at revenue recognition. SHRA receives a significant amount of money from the federal, state, and local places, so we look to make sure that's properly recorded in the proper period. We'll talk about significant estimates that are within these financial statements in a later slide. And then within the statements also, SHRA provides a lot of funding out to the community in the forms of notes receivable, and which is all financed by debt that they issue. The single audit, which is a very heavy lift for this agency. They have a lot of programs. We'll talk about that on another slide. And then lastly, the group audit, which impacts the city portion. There's related parties that are out there that are reported under these this financial statements. And at any point, if anyone has a question, just jump in. All right, so let's talk about the results of the audit. So first off, the audit opinion says, as I mentioned, there was 3 reports that we issued. So first off, the financial statements, we had an unmodified opinion, or that means a clean opinion, so that's great to hear. For the federal awards, we had 2. We had a unmodified opinion over the internal controls, and then on the federal awards, we had an unmodified opinion except for 2 programs were qualified, and we'll talk about that in the next slide. For the audit results, there was 1 material weakness noted for the financial statements, but there was no significant deficiency, so just 1 finding under that category. And then for federal awards, we did have 2 material weaknesses and 3 significant deficiencies that we're going to go into details about all these in the next slides. Okay, so the next slide, just so you guys see what we are testing. So for this audit this year, you can see that we tested 6 different programs. And the first 2 programs, the Public and Indian Housing and the Housing Choice Voucher Program, they were the ones that resulted in a qualified opinion. And that was because there was a material weakness over both of those programs, which led us to have to qualify these for this year. Okay, so you should have a copy of the single audit reports. If you wanted to follow along in the details, which was the smaller report you should have gotten a copy of. Looking at the first one, this is the financial close process. So basically this finding, as part of our audit, we receive a trial balance and we begin our audit procedures. And based on our audit procedures, there was significant adjustments that we had to make to ensure the financial statements were not materially misstated. So you can kind of see further details about that in the actual audit report. If we go to the next one. So I'm going to skip through the next 3. The next 3 don't impact the city. So this is all part of the Housing Choice Voucher Program that's run underneath the county. Does anyone have any objections to that, or would you like me to go through these? Go through them? Okay. So the first one, so for the Housing Choice Voucher Program, we look over eligibility inspections. So as part of that, we reviewed 60 files, and noted 23 out of 60 of them were not done timely. They were done, they were just not done in a timely fashion. So this is the material weakness that resulted in this program being qualified. Okay, the next one is still the Housing Choice Voucher Program for the Housing Quality Standards failed inspections. So we reviewed 40 files that had failed inspections during the year, and that resulted in 1 of them that the failed inspection had not been re-inspected in a timely manner. Timely manner either means 24 hours because of a emergency violation or within 30 days. All right, for 2024-004, again, back to the housing quality inspection, but this is for the annual inspections that must be conducted. And this one, we had 1 out of 60 that was noted that an inspection has not been completed since 2022. So it was outside that 365 days. Okay, on this one, 2024-005, which does result in city being involved, this was over the public housing eligibility, and this did result in a material weakness. So during our testing at 40 files, we did note 16 out of 40 that had exceptions. So you can see on here with city, there were 8 instances where the annual certification was not completed on an annual basis. So again, it was completed, it just wasn't completed on a timely basis. County had 7 instances of the same, the annual certification was not completed on an annual basis. And then there was 1 at county where the annual certification was not completed in 2024, so it was over. It hasn't been done since 2022, so that one is a missing certification. And then last up, which this is city and county, was the Emergency Solutions Grant. So this is a grant that you pass through money out to subrecipients, and we reviewed 29 payments. And as a result of that, we noticed 10 of them were not paid within 30 days. This grant requires payment out to subrecipients to happen within 30 days. So they were paid out, just not within that timeline. So, any questions on any of these findings? The SHRA staff is here in case there's any specific details that anyone has on any of those. If not, I'll move to the next slide. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
I don't want that job. Nope, don't want that job. Thank you. thank you for this. In just looking at the audit, because I think it's important, because we are having discussions right now, city and county, that we slow down and kind of look at what this means. And what I'm seeing, and correct me if I'm wrong, when I look at like where there have been weaknesses or deficiencies, I look at kind of the cause. And what it says is the cause of like maybe not enough internal controls. So when they get this report, what is the next step that is used with SHRA to address this?
I can speak on that to begin. There is a corrective action plan that's obviously developed. I know right now it's revisiting, what controls are in place to ensure, like, for the annual inspections that they're done timely. So there is some change up internally. So I don't want to speak for anyone at SHRA. So I don't know if anyone wants to comment on that.
Yeah, I would love to hear if that's, yeah.
Good afternoon. My name is Mary Liz Paulson. I'm the director of the Housing Choice Voucher Program. So for the inspections, there were two findings, as you've heard. One was when the inspection was not rescheduled. It had failed and it was not rescheduled timely. This file has been corrected, and as a result, we've created reports, and we will be monitoring those reports on a regular monthly basis so that we don't have that recurring again. So the other inspection issue was there was a missing inspection. And so, again, we have created reports that we will be tracking and then meeting regularly on a monthly basis to review to ensure that that does not happen again.
Which, thank you, because I'm looking at more of like internal controls. So part of then my question goes to why weren't these controls put in place? And now I know you're generating reports, but let's say you retire. What's put into place, though, it becomes part of the norm, so we don't have these internal controls other than to say the controls were there and a human being failed.
Right. So there are different levels of management that are reviewing as well. So not only is the supervisor who is running the reports doing it, but it will be part of our regular management meetings that we are reviewing as well. So it involves more than just myself as the director.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And then just one more question for you. As I'm looking at this, it says, the costs or the impact, and most are, say, unknown or basically no cost. How do we determine the impact?
Yeah, so it's all about the population we receive. So if we're receiving a population of just a listing of failed inspections, you don't really have a number. Like, I'm not getting like a dollar value, so that's when it becomes unknown. Luckily for all these, we did not have a calculation issue. So like, the eligibility issues they weren't done timely, but it wasn't that they miscalculated how much the individual should pay or the housing authority should be paying on behalf of that individual, which is good. That's where you don't want to be.
Yeah.
These are all just kind of like just timeliness. Unfortunately, there's this still recovery of COVID many years past that we're still seeing at the housing authorities across the country. So although these are findings, they're not bad findings. It's kind of
Because
things
that
you
was
can fix.
that's what I was trying to get
Yes.
to is,
Yeah.
it's normal for audits to have findings. Like, my next question was going to be, how significant are these
Yeah.
findings?
Well, a little homework I did last night in preparation for this meeting today. We've been working with the agency since 2018. So since 2018, pre-COVID, there was not really many issues. They had 3 back in 2018 and 0 in 2019. And then COVID happened. And that's where we kind of saw the escalation kind of happen. So, in 21, we had 7 findings, 22 at 8. Last year had 10 findings. This year, we're down to 5. So, it's getting better each year. So I think that's really in the positive for the agency. It's, kind of like the issues occurred, and now the rebuild is occurring, and we're seeing the decrease. And we're getting ready to start the 2025 audit in the next couple weeks. And again, we're hoping to see a continued decrease of these findings.
Perfect. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay. So I have a couple more slides. Can't get rid of me yet. So for governance communication, just a couple of things I wanted to highlight on this. On the left-hand side, talking about the overall, we had no changes in our plan scope, which means we came in with a plan to do this audit, and nothing came up that we had to change and double back and change our process. There was no significant difficulties. We had no disagreements with management, and we're not aware of management having any outside consultations with other accounting firms. Just a couple things on the estimates. Obviously, these statements can contain estimates similar to your financial statements. We have the OPEB and pension, which is estimates that are developed by an actuary, a third party. And then lastly, on the other, I did want to note that you can see they have this, this year, or for 2024, we had 46 adjusting journal entries, which you might be like, oh, that's a lot, Mandy. Last year, we had 95. So again, we're improving each year, and that's why I think as a council, it would be something good to hear that the agency is improving year after year. Okay, so just over the financial activity, I'm going to kind of hit these on a high point, but something if you guys want to take a look at. This is the management discussion analysis summarized. And then just overall, this is SHRA at a total. And you kind of can see just an increase overall, on the assets kind of coming in the door and increase in the CDBG program, home program, ARPA. This year was the kind of sunsetting of the ERA program. So that one was kind of going to bed. As you see, if you look in the liabilities went down, the unearned, that was money that was received up front that was finally spent this year on the ERA and the mental health services program. In a positive note, we did see the pension liability decrease and also the OPEB liability decrease, which is nice. That means that CalPERS is performing well and there's less liability for everyone in the books right now. Looking over on the income statement, I think the big one is really the increase in the federal and state and local money, and that primarily is related to the Housing Choice Voucher Program, very consistent across the country. This program, there's not only is the lease ups increasing, but also the amount rent per unit is increasing, so that's why you see this significant increase, about $20 million on the top line. If you look down under the operating expenses, you see these housing assistance payments, about $20 million. This sharp decrease in administrative services and services supplies is related to that ERA program. That all coming to a close, you're seeing that drop in that program. Lastly, down under non-operating revenues, which this does impact city, is that last year was the big sale of RVP Group that occurred, and that went out the door. So that was a decrease of about $20 million. That sale occurred last year, and that property is in operation this year. So let's just look at city real quickly. So city, for the most part, kind of a little bit of flip-flop of current assets and non-current assets. But a note on here that, home and CDBG program, this presentation is for what we submit into HUD, and HUD does not require the submission of home and CDBG. But it does have a little bit of impact in the increases in AR during the year, and the money being spent out the door before the AR is collected. There was a little bit of shift in presentation under liabilities this year with the accrued interest and long-term liabilities, and then just overall the timing of the payments that were received in for the home and CDBG program. And then over here, last up, you'll see the biggest decrease, as we kind of talked about previously, is that $31 million decrease, which did relate to the overall sale of RVP. Also being sold was Big Trees, Pine Knolls, Riverview. That was also, that was the 3 properties, if you guys remember, for RVP. Some decrease in revenue. So with the loss of all those properties being sold, you'll see decrease in revenue, decrease in expenses that kind of all applied here. Okay, and we're not going to talk about county there. Okay, just quickly over here, this is more just informational. You guys can take this home and read more about the GASB standards, but just things that happened during the year. We did implement GASB 100. It was related to any kind of accounting changes for error and corrections. If you were to open up in the financial statements you had and turn to footnote 6, you will see that there were some corrections we did this past year. And it was just a new disclosure that was required in a different presentation. GASB 101, this was related to vacation, sick leave, PTO, whatever every agency calls it, and properly recording it to be consistent against the industry. Basically, they were just finding out, GASB was, that this was not kind of consistent presentation, and it was making it difficult for comparability purposes. So for next year, so for our 12/31/2025 audit, we have about 3 new standards we're going to implement. This one's pretty easy. Certain risk disclosures. What this means is there's anything out there that the best example I have is just with the HUD money, the fear that HUD money was going to decrease. If it were to decrease, we'd have to put in a footnote, just letting the reader know that there's been a decrease in the revenues coming into the agency. But as of right now, that is not something that we're aware of, so no need to disclose. 103, this is probably one of the most significant impact. This is the change up of the financial statements, so those statements that you all been looking at for years. The presentation of the balance sheet changes a little bit, the income statement, and then the management discussion analysis is going to be a little bit more clear and more consistent for readers. So this is one you'll probably see in your at your own agency, kind of make an impact on the proprietary fund. Okay, so this one, just some capital assets, changes on the disclosure of capital assets to make them more readable. No big changes on this one, and this is actually for 2026. And last up, the GASB implementation guide, which just this overall provides a lot of clarity to a lot of things out there. We see an implementation guide probably every 10 years. So for us auditors and accountants, this is exciting times because this really helps out with the stuff we've been doing for many years. So that is all I have. I know I said a lot, but I hope it was informative. I hope you got a good picture of what's going on over at SHRA. Does anyone have any questions?
Thank you so much for your presentation. Let me see if we have any public comments, and then we'll take questions from the council.
Okay. I have one public comment.
Okay, we're going to do public comment first, and then we'll have you come back up. Yeah, because I tagged you. Thank you.
Michael Melton.
Good afternoon. Sacramento has more homeless today than 3 years ago before Kaiser and Blue Cross gave SHRA $45 million. There's numerous programs to split the money, I know, but there's less programs for the homeless, and there's no apartments. There's still no place for people like myself that still haven't got my keys, although my account says issued and offered with SHRA. So I don't know how many, I'm just one, but I don't know how many thousands of people who they could be saying, yeah, we got these places for, and really it says issued offer to me, and it's been February 15th, 2025 when they said, oh, you're just waiting for your keys. So I don't know. That's all I have to say about SHRA just for right now. That the money, I don't know. I don't think it's being dispensed the right way. I'm sure they're not building no apartments. I mean, I've been waiting over a year for my keys, and I had Section 8 before that, and then they denied me for that. Although I got it, they accepted me for that, then denied me because I took too long to get my paperwork in. So I don't know if what SHRA is really doing. If people are not getting housed and they're denying people that get Section 8 and then say, oh, no, we're not going to give it to you because you took too long, but then take longer to give you your keys after you've been accepted to another program than it took for you to get appeal denied, and all the time that you waited, they'll, mess you around. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Great. This is a receive and file item. Do I have any colleagues that have any questions? Seeing none? Going once? Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, Mr. Shields will follow up with you, sir. We'll get your contact information. We'll follow up with you. Okay, all right, so seeing none. Moving along to item number 19. Oh, yes. Michael Jazzo.
Madam Vice Mayor, with your indulgence, I thought I would take this opportunity just to introduce Chris Warren, who was recently appointed by this body to head up SHRA, to be the chief executive executive director for the interim period of over the next year to plus or minus a little bit. So just want to take an opportunity to introduce Chris. She'll be serving in SHRA and leave it at that.
Okay. Chris, do you want to come up here and say a few words?
Good afternoon. I thank you for this opportunity. I am looking forward to working with the city and the county and the team at SHRA over this interim period. There's a lot of good work happening, and I look forward to enhancing programs where we can, and if there are improvements to be made to doing that, and also looking for, where there is good, where there are programs being well run, modeling those programs throughout the agency. Customer service obviously is key, and serving our families is what we do. So I'm greatly honored that you have trusted me to help you over this period as we move through the SHRA world.
Okay, thank you so much. Welcome to Sacramento.
Thank you.
Okay. Now moving along to the city auditor's fiscal year audited cannabis business operations tax amount for the Sacramento Children's Fund. Welcome, Frishta.
Good afternoon, members of the City Council. I'm Frishta Arari, your City Auditor. With me today is Joe Fleming, who is the lead on this project and the one we're presenting next. The recommendation that is before you is to approve the City Auditor's fiscal year 24-25 audited cannabis business operations tax amount for the Sacramento Children's Fund. This is our second year conducting this CBOT revenue audit and our baseline funding verification that's going to be presented next. The city charter requires that we conduct this annually. Now I'm going to pass it over to Joe to continue the presentation and walk us through the results.
Good afternoon. My name is Joe Fleming. I'm a senior fiscal policy analyst with the Office of the City Auditor. The Sacramento Children and Youth Health and Safety Act, also known as Measure L, was passed by voters in 2022. This established City Charter Section 120, the Sacramento Children's Fund, and requires the city auditor to publish an audited amount of CBOT revenue each fiscal year. The general fund equivalent of 40% of the audited amount of the BOT revenue is then allocated to the Children's Fund. The objective of this project was to fulfill the requirement outlined in Section 120, subsection C2 of the Sacramento City Charter, by publishing an audited amount of the CBOT revenue for the prior fiscal year. We determined that contracting with the city's external auditors would be the most efficient use of resources to complete this audit. As such, the external auditors completed the audit in accordance with the generally accepted auditing standards and government auditing standards. The results of the audit show that for fiscal year 24-25, CBOT revenue came in at $22,609,932. So during the budget process each year, the city makes an estimate of CBOT revenues and budgets an amount equivalent to 40% of the estimated CBOT revenue to be transferred from the general fund to the Children's Fund. During the fiscal year-end process, the Finance Department performs a true-up to ensure that the contribution to the Children's Fund reflects 40% of that actual CBOT revenue for the prior fiscal year. So, for that particular fiscal year. So the numbers on the right-hand side of the slide show an example of this process. Now for fiscal 24-25, the estimated CBOT revenue was approximately $23.3 million, which was unchanged from the fiscal year 23-24 budget. Therefore, approximately $9.3 million in general fund dollars was allocated to the Children's Fund. So the audited amount of the CBOT revenue was approximately $22.6 million, coming in below estimates. Therefore, the Finance Department did a true-up to reduce the revenues by approximately $280,000 from the Children's Fund. And so that total amount contributed to the Children's Fund for fiscal year 25 was approximately $9.04 million. So this concludes my presentation, and I'm available to answer any questions that you might have.
Questions, I'll move the resolution.
Sorry.
I have one
Quick.
public speaker.
To adopt the audit.
Okay, motion is second. We have motion is second. Comment from Councilmember Kaplan.
Were there any public comments first?
Yes, there is one public comment. Okay. Lambert?
This is an example of when acronyms start being used. Had I not read this, I wouldn't even know what CBOT was. But I'm an acronym guy. I'm a survey guy, and whenever you see acronyms and you're talking to people that don't know what the acronyms are, that could be used as a tool of deception. I had no idea it was called CBOT until today. Now, cannabis, which I'm stunned that there's no core members here, they should be ashamed of themselves as much as they complain about how they're treated during core, but nobody's here. The reason I'm here is because I'm showing the inconsistency towards people of color in this arena. For instance, this is the only arena that I've studied, and I learned it studying core, that they have such a high tax rate. How can they have an increase in revenue? I mean, I own a business. Anybody can figure that out. If you're overtaxed, there's no motive to make you want to go out and generate revenue because you're going to be taxed. I mean, it's so simple to me, what we got here, but it's not going to be simple when it has to be dealt with in another forum. But I'm glad I came today because CBOT, you almost got that past me, but you won't get that past me because I'm an acronym guy. I mean, even the millennials call to the bay and back cheesecake TOB something. And I said, wait a minute, you call it what it is, but they still do it. So CBOT.
Thank you. I have no more public speakers.
Thank you. Councilmember Kaplan.
Thank you, Mayor. Just want to ask a question, which I really appreciate the audit, but we have timing issues. So when you do the cannabis audit and the BOT, and like we saw, it came in lower. What process are we putting into place, as you do this audit? What does it do to the effect of contracts that have already been let out?
Good afternoon, Mayor, council members, members of the public. Pete Coletto, the finance director. So I know there has been, we've had some discussions over budget in the mid-year financial update around the impact on the Children's Fund for the first round of Measure L funding. We will be providing an update to council on March 3rd. I'll give you the sneak preview, which is we are not anticipating a material impact on the first round of funding. We did have enough room. We essentially put out less in grants for that first round than we were anticipating in receipts. So we're still anticipating a balance even with the lower cannabis tax projections, but we'll give kind of more color on that on the 3rd, as well as staff's recommendation, which is when we come for round 2 of funding for Measure L, that at that time we bring to council some options for policies to ensure that we're able to fully fund everything that we're putting out in the community.
Thank you. And I think with audit, have we looked at, do we need to change the timing of how we do the audit or the audit's done to line up a little bit more with Children's Fund and if there is an impact, if even that can happen?
Yeah, I think that's it's tough to change the timing because they do need our year-end results, but it is something that we get regular. We actually collect the tax, so we do have regular updates, similar to what we brought in mid-year when we were saying, hey, wait a minute, our actual receipts are coming in significantly lower than we were projecting, so we need to essentially account for that. So we'll be able to provide council regular updates.
So that's potentially something as a policy we look at is maybe when we're planning for Measure L and future potential funding, if you're seeing a significant dip or increase, that we have to recognize that, and that should be part of the process.
Yeah, correct. And, we'll also bring some options like, hey, do we want to make sure we have a minimum fund balance in the children's fund just to account for the fact that this is a volatile revenue source? Or do we only want to, essentially let out or grant out 85% or 90% of what we're projecting just as a contingency, and then we can kind of evaluate during the funding cycle. So we'll bring some options to council, and we'll bring some of the numbers behind what I'm talking about on the, will come on the 3rd, and then the options would come when we're ready to do the next round of funding.
Perfect, thank you.
Thanks, Mayor. Just first wanted to take this moment to thank Farishta and Joe. Thank you so much for your hard work. And I think it is really important that we audit our cannabis BOT to ensure that we're actually in alignment with our current projected value, revenues, right? I think that's key. That's part of the charter. But I also wanted to take this moment just to flag for my colleagues, especially those who are concerned about this year's revenue coming in under projection. First, when city staff actually process grants, they are allocating revenue that has already been collected. The ballot was actually passed in 2002, and so we actually started collecting those funds about 2 to 3 years. So we have had about 2 to 3 full years of revenue collection before the funds were actually even distributed. So I just wanted to share that with my colleagues. And so the actual adjustment for 2024, I believe, doesn't actually make an impact on current grant making. It just simply means that there's going to be less funding available for future grants, right? That's the way I see it. But I do appreciate, Pete, as you bring the options back to City Council, I think it is good that we have some guardrails in place as city staff is working on future grant-making process to ensure that whatever we are putting out is actually in alignment with what we have collected in terms of revenue. And then I also wanted to share that this summer we will actually be rolling out the basic income program for youth aging out of foster care as part of our homelessness prevention efforts. This funding, again, has already been set aside. And for those that don't know, approximately 50% of our youth that age out of foster experience homelessness, and I know that's one of our top issues in the city. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing these critical investment for our youth in the city. So thank you so much for all your hard work.
We have a
No further speakers. I have a motion by Councilmember Dickinson to confirm and a second by Councilmember Kaplan. Is that correct? Mayor, sorry.
Yes. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any noes or abstentions? Hearing none.
I have
One absence.
Motion passes with Councilmember Pluckybaum absent. The next item is item number 20. City Auditor's fiscal year 2024-2025 baseline funding verification for the Sacramento Children's Fund. The presentation magic is working. Hold on. There you go.
Good afternoon, members of the City Council. My name is Joe Fleming, a Senior Fiscal Policy Analyst with the Office of the City Auditor. The recommendation that is before you is to approve the City Auditor's fiscal year 24-25 baseline funding verification for the Sacramento Children's Fund. This is our second year conducting the baseline funding verification, and the City Charter requires that we conduct this verification annually. As I mentioned in my previous presentation, the Sacramento Children and Youth and Health and Safety Act, also known as Measure L, was passed by voters in 2022. This established City Charter Section 120, the Sacramento Children's Fund, and required the City Auditor to calculate and publish the baseline funding amount by December 31st, 2023. The City Auditor fulfilled this obligation and calculated the baseline funding amount to be $22.9 million. Each year, the City Auditor is required to verify whether the baseline funding amount was expended in the prior fiscal year. The objective of this project was fulfill the requirement outlined in Section 120, subsection E1C of the Sacramento City Charter by verifying that the baseline funding amount of $22.9 million was expended in fiscal year 24-25. The scope of this project was city expenditures for fiscal year 24-25, or those that were made between July 1st, 2024 and June 30th, 2025. To achieve our objective, we researched programs that departments identified as youth-related, and so to confirm that a program qualified toward the baseline funding verification, we conducted an analysis to verify its compliance with the criteria that was laid out in the city charter. We reviewed expenditures from those programs in fiscal year 24-25, net of program revenues, confirming their source as unrestricted general fund revenue, aligning the program with one or more fund goals, and verifying that the expenditures did not fall into prohibited categories. Now, in certain situations, the most appropriate method for determining the correct allocation of youth-related expenditures was to rely on management estimates. In specific cases, we employed management's estimations to determine the appropriate distribution of administrative costs among the eligible youth programs. Additionally, we depended on management's assessments of youth program participation to isolate and allocate the youth-related portion within those programs that had a partial youth component. So these estimates were based on available program attendance records, though it's important to note that due to limited time and resources, we did not conduct independent audit procedures to validate the accuracy or the completeness of the management estimates. So after reviewing the City of Sacramento's youth programs and related expenditures for fiscal year 24-25, we have verified that the city expended the baseline funding amount for the Sacramento Children's Fund. This slide summarizes the department's youth-related programs, the fund goals that were fulfilled by the program operations, and the eligible program expenditures that counted towards the fiscal year 24-25 baseline funding verification. In determining the eligibility of expenditures in accordance with the baseline funding criteria, some expenditures from the youth-related programs were excluded, and so some of the common reasons for reducing the amount included as eligible were the funding sources may have been ineligible, they fell into a prohibited expenditure category, or there were programs that only had a partial youth component. Guidance from last year's presentation to City Council dictated that in odd years, the city auditor will publish an analysis of expenditures up to the baseline funding amount, and in even years publish a full accounting of the eligible youth-related expenditures across all departments. As the current analysis is for the odd year of fiscal year 24-25, we have published the relevant eligible youth-related expenditures from the departments that were needed to meet that baseline funding amount. For that reason, this table does not encompass all youth programs across the city of Sacramento, nor necessarily all of the youth programs within these listed departments. As the city auditor's responsibilities established in Measure L require 2 annual reports, we have updated our webpage as a central location for the council, management, and for the public to have access to these reports. As outlined in the charter, our primary responsibility is to ensure that the baseline funding requirement has been met. We want to reiterate that there are other expenditures in other departments and within those departments that would be considered as eligible towards the baseline funding verification. So next year's report will include a more thorough analysis of expenditures comprising all youth programs across all departments and all eligible program expenditures. Thank you for your time. This concludes my presentation, and I'm available to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you.
I have one public speaker.
One public speaker.
Lambert?
As I listened to what I just heard, not on this, it's this one too, but now I know why people didn't come today. They've received grants. That's bought and paid for. And I am not afraid to say that. Anytime you complain about something, you should have the, I don't know what the term is, but you should have that and come down here and stand on it. Otherwise, you shouldn't complain. I don't consider what I'm doing complaining, though. When I see Children's Fund And as an alumni of Grant High School, all of the great things that they're doing over there, and they're always having problems with funding. I think the drumline went to Scotland, Ireland last year. I'm not sure if they went. I've been real busy. But a group like that, every year they go somewhere. They should have no problem with Measure L, which I voted for, Measure U, which was combined. And as I look at all the money that comes in from cannabis, the Grant Drumline should never have problems traveling. And that includes chaperones, parents, grandparents, whoever's going. They never get in a scandal. There's all kinds of scandals down here by adults. These are teenagers, and they should be funded. And don't come telling us about a delay or something didn't come in. It came in. It just wasn't dispensed. There's a difference. I love those teenagers. Not only that, but I'm an alumni. We were just there for Martin Luther King luncheon, rave reviews. It was a 50-year reunion for me.
Thank you for your comment. I have no more public speakers.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember Vang.
Thanks, Mayor. Just want to take this moment to thank Joe again. I don't really have any questions, just more comments. Just wanted to remind folks, the reason why we're also here talking about the baseline is because when advocates wrote this measure, they wanted to ensure that no supplanting actually occurred with the Sacramento Children's Fund, and that's the reason why we do this. So I just want to take a moment to thank all the youth advocates who fought really hard about 4 years ago, who campaigned and knocked on doors to get this measure passed. Especially, I know that we have some tough decisions ahead during the budget. It's budget season, but I'm grateful that we have this measure because it is providing a guardrail to make sure that we protect youth funding. Eventually, though, I just want to be on record is that really appreciate the work of our city auditor, but eventually, though, I know that baseline every year will eventually be met because labor cost is going to rise for YPSI staff, right? When we give raises, cost just goes up in general, and so I anticipate that, when you come here during the odd years or every year that those dollars will actually be met. But I do want to say thank you for acknowledging that, this verification is not as thorough and that we're going to spend the odd years doing it because, we want to be mindful about our capacity in the city auditor's office as well. And I think that makes absolute sense. And so just want to say thank you for all your hard work. Even though it may not have been as thorough, we know that we've met the baseline verification. That's the most important thing that I think what the voters wanted to see. So I think that's great. And then with that, I'll just make a motion to approve the city auditor's baseline funding verification for the Sacramento Children's Fund.
And I'll second.
Thank you. You still have a comment, Vice Mayor? Okay, thank you. Motion is second. No further comments. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any noes or abstentions? Hearing none, one absence.
Motion passes with the absence of Councilmember Pluckybaum. All right. So I have 8 speakers for matters not on the agenda.
Okay, please proceed.
All right. Peter?
A Sacramento police officer gets a call. A resident says a foreign government is threatening her family. Maybe she is a Sikh and the threat traces back to India. Maybe she is Uyghur and it traces back to China. The officer has no training for this, no framework for recognizing transnational repression, no protocol for believing that the person on the other end of that call is telling the truth, and no idea that the Department of Justice has already indicted a foreign intelligence officer for directing an assassination plot against an American citizen on American soil. SB 509 would have changed that. It passed both chambers of your state legislature without a single no vote. The California Police Chiefs Association endorsed it, and it would have trained your officers to recognize exactly this kind of threat. However, the Hindu American Foundation killed it. HAF's own statement says that they spearheaded a coalition through the governor's office, and Governor Newsom vetoed the bill on October 13th of last year. Congress's own research service listed HAF as a Hindu nationalist group operating in the United States. And Jewish Currents reports that HAF has consistently supported the supremacist policies of India's Modi government, the same government whose intelligence officer the DOJ indicted for that assassination plot. Now ask yourself why they killed that bill. This council honored HAF twice, in 2023 and again last September, less than a month before HAF celebrated that veto. Proclamations are not decorative. They are political currency, and this council has been minting it for an organization that spent it against your own police department. Your officer still does not have the training, and this council helped to make sure of that by platforming the very same organization that killed the bill that would have given it to them. Thank you.
Next speaker, I have Lambert, and then Graham, and then Leanna.
Okay, I'm going to get this done in 2 minutes. First of all, that was very kind of the rostrum to send somebody to talk to that gentleman over there who was caught in the system. There's sometimes when you are very kind, and I'm hoping that's going to be the case with what I'm talking about as well. Ever since I've been challenged in City Hall, I never had a parking ticket. I never had any problem. Lately, and I've already reached out to City Councilman Dickinson's office, and there's some kind people across the hallway. I went to find out when I went to DMV. They told me I had some tickets, and I've never had tickets. I have a great driving record. And so they pulled it out and showed it to me, and we caught City Hall because they did a Zoom with me, and the person who was doing the Zoom, just like during COVID, a lot of people don't know how to operate Zoom. And so it said that it was an error, but it didn't say it was an error on my part or theirs. So I need help with that. I've never had a ticket. Then they said I parked in front of a bus zone. You should never bother me in Del Paso Heights. They took a picture of my truck, and my truck was in front of a neighbor who is willing to go to court behind this. They actually, her name is Betty R. She should get a raise. She just sent me the picture, and it shows my truck is parked way away from the bus stop because my neighbor lives there. You have to be careful when you play games with certain people. And I need somebody from City Hall to meet me back there and tell me what are my options, because I need to get to DMV and pay my fee, or else it could be a problem riding around like that. And also, we just got our Better Business Bureau recertification, and we're very proud of that.
Thank you for your comment. Your time is complete. Graham?
First, they came for the black people, and I did not speak out because I was not a black person. Then they came for the Latinos, and I did not speak out because I was not a Latino. Then they came for the Asians, and I did not speak out because I was not an Asian. And then they came for the protesters. And I did not speak out because I was not a protester. Then they came for me, and no one was left to speak out for me. One of the speakers that signed up today, Josh, will not be here because he was just arrested by DHS. This original poem was written by a former anti-Semite who was a pastor. He was imprisoned after he spoke out against Nazi control of churches. And as we know, there is Nazi control of a teepee, which is a church. And yes, I'm raising my voice, and yes, I know some people want to say that's not professional. What is happening in this city is not professional. Mayor McCarty, I've called you 4 times. Not once have I received a call back from you, nor did I receive that email with the permit paper that you promised me. I'm sick of coming to this town to work, invest my time and energy into it, and then on my off time, be harassed by your officers. Our protesters, including this man back here, Lambert, we're all getting targeted by your city. I've lived in California my whole life. I lived in the most fucking conservative town, excuse my language. This town, starting to look like Nazis in fucking disguise.
Our next speaker is Leanna.
I would beg to differ. It's Nazis in suits. Hey, Phil. How's it going, bud? Good to see you. Thank you so much for coming out to have a discussion with us. I appreciated your promises, but they're empty. So are yours, McCarty. All of your promises are empty. A number of you, you've been doing wonderful things in our community, actually giving a shit about our community, and presenting. When you sit and pay attention to us, it matters. When you kick back, we notice it too. Your body language says everything. We are asking for you to step in some way, shape, or form. The 1978 American Indian Freedom of Religious Act was violated. We have been violated and targeted multiple times, repeatedly, constantly by SAC PD. Constantly. We're talking every single day. And all we're doing is trying to keep people from being kidnapped and disappeared. I'm not going to be sorry for that. We're never going to stop until they stop taking our neighbors, our friends, our family. And I would hope that you guys would give a shit, McCarty. I would hope that you would give a shit because you ran so hard against Flo and you fought so hard. You wanted this seat. Do something with it. Do something that matters. This is the Capitol. Hey, look at me, please. Kevin! All right, cool. So you don't listen to shit. Good to know. That actually tracks because no mayor, for as long as I can remember and any time that I've been up here, has actually cared. There have been some council members that care. Phil, it seemed like you care. I can tell you care. Katie, I'm not always sure. But it's clear. So pick the side you want to be on because, we're going to remember which side it is. So, have a good one.
Our next speakers are Sierra, Joshua. I think I heard somebody say that Joshua is no longer here. Thank you. Okay, I understand. Thank you. I just wanted to. Okay. I just wanted to confirm. Thank you. Sierra.
So, y'all don't know me yet. Haven't lived in California my whole life. I was actually born in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I am staying in Trinidad, California. You guys say this is Northern California, but there's a whole northern part of the state that you guys exclude, a tribe that you guys exclude. I reside on the Yurok tribe, Trinidad Rancheria. I came down here for prayers with my sacred Native American church. I am Cheyenne River Sioux and Rhodes Sistan Wapitan Oyate. I am Lakota and Dakota, and I came down here with my church to have prayers. Sacramento Police Department violated the American Indian Freedom of Religion Act, the Non-Interference Mandate, CA Public Resources Code 5097.9. The no camping rule does not apply for this. Mandatory consultation, AB 52 and SB 18, which means you have to consult with California tribes before taking a tribal cultural resource, which a Native American teepee is a tribal cultural resource, and you violated the Federal Religious Protection, RLUIPA 42 USC 2000CC. And actually, one of the police officers who was there that desecrated my church is right there. Say hi to him right there. Hi, yeah, I remember your face. You promised a lot of promises, Phil, and I've waited 2 weeks on those promises. I also made promises, and I plan on fulfilling on those promises as well, and I know you remember those promises. Sacramento Police Department needs to return the sacred Native American artifacts that they desecrated and stole. They have it in inventory marked as a tarp and bamboo sticks, because they know if any of you guys knew that they were holding a Native American teepee, it would be flagged immediately. All of you guys are sitting on your fucking asses.
Thank you for your comment. Your time is complete.
Give my teepee
Our-
back now.
Our next speaker is Michael.
Next speaker, please.
Next speaker is Michael.
Just call him.
You get to decide,
Next.
Kevin! You get to fucking decide!
Next speaker.
Next speaker is Michael.
Michael,
Yes.
come up.
I ain't coming here to talk no trash, y'all. I just want to say that the parking laws need to change. If you have an RV, you should legally be able to park in front of your family's homes, on the street, in the grass, or whatever. Because, today my RV got taken again. It had no 72-hour notice on it. I was moving it every couple of days like I was asked by the police. I'm still waiting for my housing. They told me to keep it in the court. They was like, don't drive out the court, just stay in your court. And I kept moving it around the court like they asked me to. And they told me again this morning, just out the blue. I didn't break no laws. I've been waiting on SHRA to do something. I've been watching the news trying to see if y'all was gonna make a parking spot to park at or something like that. And I'm coming back to you guys again because last time that they towed my car, y'all helped me out. And I'm hoping that I could get some assistance again. Mr. McCartney, I apologize for saying that you embezzled the money. I probably said that a few times. But, please don't hold that against me. I really do need my RV back if anybody can help me. And if anybody can help with homeless assistance where I can find, even if I don't get the RV back, give me some vouchers for a hotel or something. You guys been seeing me for over a year. You guys been seeing me over the last few years coming back to you saying, hey, I'm homeless, I need some help. I'm coming correctly. I'm trying to come correctly. I'm not on probation no more. I'm not on parole. I changed my life. I got 8 kids. Child support is beating my butt. I was at $11,000. I think I'm down to $5,000 that I still owe right now. I got divorced. I was on Maury. I wasn't the father. And I was in a real toxic relationship, and now I'm free. But please, if anybody can help me, I'm gonna be around today. Please, I need some help. Thank you.
Is LRR Roberts here?
Hi, I'm L.R. Roberts. I'm in District 5. To recap, for many decades, activists took concrete steps against Border Patrol, then tried to stop DHS, which has Nazi roots, and ICE. It is a fact that many ethnic groups were active over the decades, including many Hispanics, Latinos, Chicanos, Indigenous, and their organizations. Now our police are helping ICE violate U.S. and international law. Now federal court is prosecuting young activists, I saw the paperwork today, and allegedly they're alleging that we're being paid. I just love that one. Imagine how much money I'd be owed, which is absolutely ridiculous. And that these young people are creating a new political pushback. I'm sorry, I've done this since the 70s. This is not a new political pushback. Because we're trying to stop attacks on immigrants. We've been doing this since the 70s. This young person didn't create this out of nowhere, even though I like what they're doing. I do see a huge number of our cops attacking homeless people, like the 8 people that gave 1 ticket to a homeless woman that I've already talked about. And then the other time I saw 6 of them, 4 of them on horses attacking a guy trying to sleep in front of the Amtrak sign because it takes 6 cops to deal with that. Today, I called 911 and they refused to do anything. One of my neighbors had her wallet and her phone stolen by Corey, a notorious criminal in Oak Park, and he was in his Mustang in front of my house. So I called 911. I said, the guy's here who stolen my neighbor's wallet and phone, and they refused to do anything. And then Katie's office and I have been in contact because the cops aren't doing their jobs. They're busy throwing away things that homeless people own. That's what they're busy doing. Why does it take 8 cops to give one homeless person my age a ticket?
I have no more public speakers. Do we have any council comments, ideas, or any AB 1234 reports, or a city manager's report?
Yes. Councilmember Kaplan.
Thank you, Mayor. I have an AB 1234 report. Last week, I was in Berkeley. I am an at-large member for Cal Cities. A lot of conversations, discussion. Big one was had about Bradley Burns and the tax allocation of the impact of distribution centers, cities who have them, and then cities who can't have them, and where should Cal Cities' position be? I will tell you, the conversation is continuing. No finality was had, but it is definitely a hot topic.
I also have an AB 1234 report, same as Councilmember Kaplan. Great update, so nothing to add. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. With that, we're adjourned.
Right. Adjourned at 3:19.